I've just picked up a bucket of clay from the River Ouzes floodplains by Harold Bridge. Now I need to look for freshwater mussel shells to use as temper for the clay. This will give the clay better build qualities and more thermal shock resistance. Believe it or not, this is the best time of year to find the shells. After the mussels die, the shells are easily washed downstream into the reed beds. The reed beds die off in the winter, exposing all the shells. I've picked a box full in just a few minutes. This is the clay after processing. I've not added any temper, as it's always best to try the clay before adding the temper. Unfortunately, the test pot cracked while drying, so it's going to need the shell temper adding. To make the temper, the shells need heating up to remove organic matter. This will also make it easier for the shells to be ground down. The shells want to be heated to around 300 to 500 Celsius for approximately 30 minutes till the shells turn black and crumble. Avoid overheating because you can turn the shell's calcium carbonate into calcium oxide, also known as quicklime. When heating and crushing the shells, always wear the appropriate safety glasses and dust mask, and if possible, work outside or a well ventilated area. You can test your crushed shells before using in the clay by adding a few drops of water to a small amount of crushed shells. If it bubbles up and gets warm, it's turned into calcium oxide. That's quicklime. Shell temper can also turn into calcium oxide if the pot is fired above 800 Celsius. This will cause small holes and cracks to appear, known as spoiling or lime pops, sometimes weeks after the pot has been fired. Once all the organic material has been burnt out in the shells, they're ready to be ground down and added to the clay. It takes little or no effort smashing the shells up into small pieces. A mask should always be worn when preparing shells. There will be double this amount when the other half is finished cooking on the barbecue and ground down. The clay has been taken out of the tray and placed on a board to help speed up the drying process before adding the shell temper. The clay is still quite wet, so this will make it easier to knead the shell into the clay. I'm looking to add about 20% to the clay. This will not only prevent cracking while drying, it will also remove a lot of the stickiness from the clay, while also giving it a better hand building quality and at the same time lowering the firing temperature. After kneading the shell into the clay, it should be left overnight to allow the shell to rehydrate and the clay to firm up. As soon as I started to make the pot, I realised the shell needed to be ground down a lot finer, as the large pieces of shell were sticking through both sides of the pot. If I was making a bigger pot, I may have gotten away with it, but this was just a small test pot. The only thing I can think of is flattening the clay out and letting it dry out before grinding down and sieving it this time. When the clay and the large pieces of shell have dried out, they need to be put into the tube and crushed down to a fine powder, and this time sieved. It's been a wet winter this year and I'm struggling to dry my processed clay, so I'm going to use this almost slip-like clay to rehydrate the powdered clay, and hopefully I will get a usable clay from them. This is the first ball of clay I've made by mixing and kneading them together. I really like the feel of this clay. I've just made a test pot from the clay. The build quality was not the best, but it has improved. You can still see the shell in the clay. Now I will have to wait and see if the shell temper will stop the clay from cracking when it dries. So this is the pot I made with the clay. You can see the small pieces of shell in it, but it's got this lovely soft silk feel to it. I don't know whether it was something to do with the beach clay I mixed to it, whether it got salt in it, but it's got a lovely, lovely feel to it. And I also made this one. Whoops. And this is the same. It's got that lovely silky feel to the clay. I'm not sure what it is, but I like it. It's a bit tricky to use. I'm going to try and make a larger pot. So that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall see you in my next video.